What up, everybody? We are here.
John's house.
We're here at the studio, fresh off of the OP2 pre-release, which we all attended in some capacity.
Oh yeah.
To varying success. I was working, so I got paid no matter what. But we got two winners on the couch over there.
Right over there.
And Keith also attended.
I did do that.
I think Keith won the most out of all of us.
I did definitely. In terms of value, I nailed it. Honestly, got everything I could have wanted. And even
two alt-art leaders, like
got my Odin leader, got my Magellan leader, and just a ton of other good alt-arts, some goodies, some Yamato.
What's the plural of Yamato?
Yamatai.
Oh, true. Yeah, we got a couple of alt-art, or not, a winter stand rather, smokers from the the gang on the other couch. Oh, hold on. Can we get a shot for the camera? Is there?
I didn't know we were doing this.
Oh,
okay. Mine is stowed away.
All right, well, hold on. It looks the same, so don't worry.
It looks the same. Don't worry. I promise you.
There you go.
I promise you, there's two.
Very nice.
You know what?
Yeah, we could vouch.
You know what? Just because you guys might not believe me.
The doubter in the comments. I don't think Eddie won.
Yeah, no.
Just Eddie.
Disregard this book bag.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just keep it off the shot. But it was a very, very nice event. I was excited for the sealed format. We have that one guy in the comments got destroyed.
Right.
I said it's pre-release winner if I've ever read that.
If I've ever read those words before. But yeah, it was good. The sealed format. I was talking to Keith earlier. Kind of better than Digimon.
Oh, definitely better than Digimon. We're actually a little context.
A millennia better than Digimon. Yeah. I'm sorry.
we're all kind of Digimon converts, I guess, or refugees. I don't know.
Absolutely.
How you want to put it, but we all kind of stopped playing Digimon for One Piece once it came out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, sealed in that game, not great. Never liked it, but for this, I think being able to choose which leader you bring to the table is very interesting. Adds a whole different aspect to building the deck once you get your cards. Actually, what did you guys play? Who'd you play as?
I picked Red Leader Zoro.
Nice.
Okay. Plus 1,000.
Yeah,
of course.
All your characters. It was really great. Basically went vanilla style with most of my characters.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of great little 1-drops, 2-drops were amazing. They're spread out among all the colors, so getting access to playing all the colors was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just those 2-drop 4K swingers, multiple.
Yeah. So you kind of kept it low to the ground, bunch of low drops.
Yeah, and I can imagine you pulled as many vanillas as humanly possible.
Pretty much that, and got lucky. I would probably say I got lucky with the 2Ks. I had 4 total.
Okay,
nice.
I felt like that was a pretty high amount.
Solid.
Okay.
I also played a red leader.
Oh.
I actually played the best red leader in the game currently at this moment, and no, actually it was Promo Uta.
Oh my goodness!
Best card in the game.
In the game, period.
Quote me.
All right, it's going down there.
I actually went for the same playstyle though. I loaded up on vanillas. I actually opened up my 6-packs and didn't get much. So in my head, I was just like, you know what? I got all these vanillas, like he said, across the board of different colors. So I just kind of went with the vanilla play.
Heck yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what Utsu does, because, I know what I said, but she does not get played at all. Right. You rest the Don and give 2,000 to a character with no base, a.k.a. vanilla.
Okay.
So it was cool just playing those 1-drops, those 2-drops, and just being able to rest the Don next turn and just swing a 5K with a 1 or 6K with my 2, because they're 3 and 4.
Right.
But it was also clutch when I was playing those 4-drop 6Ks and 5-drop 7Ks. Because
I can imagine those guys are getting
huge.
Oh my goodness!
Especially against the Whitebeard leader, because
he
swings for 6. He's 6. You have to match 6 to get.
Dude,
it's ridiculous.
It's great. Did you run any Little Ors Jr. in your deck?
I didn't. I did pull one, and I was gonna put it in there. But I just didn't. I wish I did though, because that thing was definitely staying on the board the entire time.
Oh yeah,
more Little Ors Jr.
One Little Ors Jr. next time.
All right. But yeah, definitely exciting. Very excited for the new cards. But before we get too far ahead of it, I did want to touch on one topic, and that is the Treasure Cup, which one of us was lucky to attend. Eddie coming fresh off of the Texas trip.
Fresh out of Texas. It was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did not do well in the main event. We definitely dropped after 3.
Oh, Uda didn't do well.
We didn't do well at all. But
Not showing up.
I would have played more. But Texas was actually a 1-day event, so the side events were happening as the main events were happening.
Oh, okay.
And I'm already losing in the main event, so I had to, jump off that boat.
Yeah.
Very fair.
So, but that being said, I signed up for a side event, and I was able to top 8 and get 9 packs altogether for entry and for the top 8.
Let's go.
So all in all, I did get a full playset of all the event pack cards,
That's
and
awesome.
that was my goal going to the Treasure Cup. It would have been nice to leave with a Chopper or a Zoro or a Luffy, but a win is a win.
Yeah, that's definitely considered a win in my books. I am sitting here with 0 of those cards, so you're doing good for yourself in some way.
Would you consider it like a good send off for the OP1 meta, getting ready for OP2 and all that?
I would consider it a good send off.
Nice. Anything you're gonna miss about OP1? Actually, for everybody, anything you're gonna miss before we get all these new cards?
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of find. Well, I mean, there's always going to be like that deck building aspect to it that's going to be cool. But I also like the fact that all the decks felt balanced. So even though you're losing a little bit of the deck building aspect right now because there's the card choices are limited.
Mm-hmm.
The meta was still changing. I felt like just based on your locals and what's the flavor of the month. We saw or we expected Zoro to dominate. When that got cracked a little bit, and then we ended up seeing Luffy get what I mean, used all over the place. I find it so funny in the sense of just going to super pre-release. People ragged on Luffy. No one wanted to run Luffy. Everyone was. I mean, obviously everyone was running to Kid for valid reason.
Right.
Kid is sick. But the fact that everyone was just like not even trying to look at Luffy or expect, like it was just crazy to think like the Straw Hats weren't going to be a good
right. Yeah, and then then Set 1 came out and people were like, oh, I like red, not for Luffy though, for Zoro,
right?
And then for Luffy to make a really solid showing at a lot of Treasure Cups, it was pretty interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean, there is something very valid to be said about being able to tap out and then still use that Dawn as an actual buff, instead of just committing that one to Zoro. Get a little bit more flexibility in what you could do with your plays and how your turns can go.
You get to play like a little more mid-range. Obviously, we've seen a bunch of lists playing cards like Ben Beckman.
Yep.
Which you would not play in like a Zoro build, but
no,
it's pretty
definitely not.
To see. And it's just pretty versatile. You get to like tap out for like really big effects, but then still kind of put just a little bit extra tempo with the.
That's with like Shanks.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Still have something to do after slamming down that guy. There's a lot that can be said about Luffy, which I will not say because I don't know.
Oh, all right. That's for someone else, I guess. But yeah, I think that's a good point though. That it did feel balanced, right? Like people thought for a little bit Kid was the best deck, and like then when the Treasure Cup standings came out, I was like, okay, Kid's all right, but like, have you seen like the Luffy numbers? Law is showing up too.
Right. Kaido's a savage when he wants to.
Yeah.
Or when Onigashima wants to be.
Right. It's interesting because like we kind of experienced this when we were playing Digimon too, where they're like a little bit ahead in terms of the meta. So people think that like, oh, okay, so it's solved then, and it's not necessarily true. It's more like, oh, we get a different starting point.
Right? Yeah,
we can kind of move it a little bit past that because that's only sort of like where they get to before the next set comes out.
Because we kind of get an extension of what they got.
Exactly, right.
We start off, we're in the middle of their meta and get to expand on it from there.
And it's always our playstyles. The English format and the English playstyle is a lot different than the Japanese and the Asian format because when you look at it, like if you go to the meta list, you always look at what the Asian meta is compared to the English meta, and it's almost never the same.
Never,
yeah. So like, and in Digimon, it made sense because the Asian format was best of 1,
right?
Yep.
Right.
And the English format was best of 3.
Just
but
huge
now
difference.
they're both best of 1 in One Piece.
Yep.
And it's still differences because I don't know if it's the way of thinking or going about it, or because we're behind and they're ahead and they're probably thinking a little bit more ahead. But I know, me personally, I know I didn't see any Luffy's when I was looking at that Asian meta.
Right.
Yeah, no.
But for somebody cracked the code,
Yeah.
And so it is always going to be differences, I believe. So it's not, you don't want to, maybe you want to go look at like when a new set is coming out, you want to go look at the Asian format just to get a
Like an
what's the word?
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an idea,
Some
like
sort of baseline, you know.
a baseline, a little
Yeah, yeah.
skeleton of what your deck, of what you're gonna build.
Right.
But you don't want to just go and copy that because the meta, it's two different metas.
Yeah.
So that's my take, my one take.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree. I mean, the way I kind of look at it is, if you just break it down to like the most simplest game, quote unquote, like rock paper scissors, right? And you say the tournament will end after 5 turns, and the first matchup is rock versus paper. You're gonna get a different outcome than if the first match is paper versus scissors.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So like that's just kind of what happens here. I feel like or there in our meta, because we're starting off, like you said, at different points.
Yeah.
We're figuring out where they're going, and then we kind of sometimes end up looping back around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Going back to, you mentioned the super pre-release and stuff that was expected to do well. I remember Crocodile. The starter at Croc was like this huge thing, and
Right.
where the heck is he? Like,
Right.
Never even showed up. to
Sleep on
OP1.
Crocodile if you want to. Best blue leader.
honestly, I don't disagree.
I think they printed 4 good ones since then, unfortunately,
Mm.
that are better. But it was
Well-
very funny to like finally get OP1 to come out, and then all you see is Doflamingo and like no Crocodile at all.
Yeah.
But either way, still very excited for that new set. So,
Very
enough-
excited to play new cards.
I was gonna say, enough
Mhm.
reminiscing about the old stuff. What are you most excited for this new set?
Oh man.
Let's start over here with Keith. What do you got, Keith?
So for a little bit of context, I play Odin, and I don't like to play it well. I have kind of foregone Bonnie and all like the good half of green for just Wano stuff. And set 2 introduces a lot of mink stuff, which ties into Wano with Inarashi and Nakamamushi. So I got to test out like Carrot and was it Shishilian, who's kind of like a Komurasaki from set 1, which you probably don't know because it was never played. But she was a 1 drop 0K, and then on play you tap her for 3, restand a Wano card with a play cost of 3 or less. But now Shishilian is 2 drop 2K, I think, for and then you tap 2 on play and restand a Mink 5 or less.
Okay.
So that hits the new Carrot, who is a 2K counter. Hits all of the Nakamamushi and
Inarashis, yeah.
Yep. So just that stuff. I also big fan of Impel Down.
Mhm.
Maybe not so much the play style. I have not played it too much, but I do love the character design. A little bit. Cool little guys. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice. I'm excited for the new sort of combination of hybrids. Always been a big purple fan. Even though I don't play it in constructed, obviously I just like red. I think it's better. But I won this guy with the purple deck. I'm always a big Kaido fan, so I like to give it a try. And I like the new mechanics that came out with the Navy, so I'm excited to try Zephyr, of course, and then maybe mix and match some of some new purple cards, some new hybrid cards. Maybe still try Blurple Kaido, or maybe try Zephyr as well. And then of course the Zoro deck changes. Well, the red deck in general changes a lot. You can still play that mid-range Luffy, but the Zoro like rush deck gets really good too.
Zoro gets a lot more lower to the ground.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try that one out
If I
for
started losing a
sure.
couple too many times,
Yeah.
you guys know what's coming up.
Listen, don't talk to me. If you see a Dan on my side of the field, it means I had a bad week. I'm here to show up and win. Like if I got 5 1-drops in play, it's because something happened on Monday or Tuesday. Yes.
Right.
What about you, Eddie?
So for some reason, I don't like having 5 life. So
too much.
in the last format, I only played the multicolored cards, and in this format, I'm thinking of going the same route. I don't know, something about the mixing cards appeals to me. I mean, I started with Law, as most of you can see. That's my favorite anime character of all time. So that was multicolor, and I really enjoyed the playstyle of mixing the 2 cards. So I did play a little bit of Blurple Croc and Blurple Kaido, kind of mixing it back and forth. So I'm thinking next set, I'm still going to take Law with me, 100% always. And I'm going to play around with Blurple Croc. But I am also interested in playing around with Zephyr. I feel like purple and black, the combination, is just very appealing to me.
Yeah, and
I just can't wait to destroy 2 big bodies with 7-drop Kaido.
yeah.
You know, like,
For the king, rather. Yeah. have Kuzan in play. King kills 2 of anything basically.
Two
Like,
of
yeah,
anything. Get it out of here.
And to Nick's point earlier, our good friend Nick over at Battlegrounds, Law is like always good, or will probably always be good, because you could just slot any good low cost red or green card into it. It doesn't really have to fit into the archetype, like.
Not at all.
Speaking of,
off of it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But speaking of red green law, Lex, what's your answer on?
I'm actually interested in building that.
Right.
And, working on that archetype. Like Eddie, I'm not a fan of 5 life apparently. At least for set 2. I'm interested in that law. Putting in the film package of the Straw Hats is really cool and interesting. There's a bunch of red film cards that are from that Uta promo pack. Yep. That give you access to that as well.
Know what he talking about? Listen to my boy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit people with that 7-drop Luffy into 4-drop promo Law minus neck deck. Let me go. Big
and then bro, Nico Robin in general. The film Nico Robin puts into play a different.
You got the Nikos,
gets you to 5 faster.
You got the Vistas who are broken that you can throw in there as well. So I like when I play Law having cards that get you value without you having to actually swing or suspend.
I just had an epiphany because I didn't even consider Vista, like playing Vista for the effect and then bouncing it to get something else.
That is the play for anybody who's playing Law. That is the play.
You heard it here first. Do not steal. You are not allowed to do it.
Or double dipping with Law.
Yeah, of course, right.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
It doesn't stop.
There's also a promo Law that lets you play at 3 costs or less by just tapping 1 Don. So if he's on the field, you swing with over a little body, maybe to get it out the way, but you just tap 1 Don, take him back, and he plays the Vista.
Oh my god! All right.
So if you wanted to do it, if you got a board of 5,
I'm cutting all this out. We don't need to know any of this. I don't want to play against that. Forget that.
If you got a board of 5 with Law,
true.
You use Law's effect, the 2-drop Law, to play the Vista. Then you use Leader Law to play 5-drop Law, bouncing the Vista and playing the Vista again.
I'd quit, I think. I think I'd quit.
You haven't even gotten to like the spicy stuff of teching in the 7-drop Luffy. And you're just going down and just a couple of turns in, it goes, okay, I dropped Luffy for 7, which drops Nico, which then drops like a Chopper or 2-drop Jinbei.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
4 cards right there with 7 Don, and then let's say you do it on your 9 Don turn.
Yeah, there you go. Activate Law. Put something sick. Put a 5-drop into play. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm a little more worried now that we've talked about that. I thought I'd get a little bit better, but that sounds kind of scary.
And there's there's tons of different packages you can do.
Yeah.
There's definitely that. There's one other deck I'm interested in is the Whitebeard, as most people are, but actually running him. Like I said, I don't like 5 life, so let's try 6.
Hey, yeah, right.
I will say I played as that leader for pre-release. I managed to pull him, and it was very interesting. It was a very weird way to play the game, taking your life each turn.
Right.
So it was very weird. I'm sure in Constructed it will feel a lot better.
I hope
being able to stop yourself.
That's the game plan, anyways. Because there's a couple of cool cards like the Squad who got a sick altar.
I was telling Keith, it's just like, imagine telling the artist, like, you don't have to go that hard. It's just Squad. And then he shows up with that thing.
Right. Bro, they were like, this? What
the heck? It's Squad, right? Calm down.
He basically he has a cool effect that you can kind of prevent with an option card that prevents you from taking life.
Is that the when you're a fool?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That card looks good.
Yeah. So that you're a fool is really the sauce, I feel like, with that deck.
And the Whitebeard character, character card.
Yeah. But in terms of like getting to kind of stall out and picking when it's not a good time to like lose that life. Obviously losing that life has its pros and cons. Card advantage is sweet.
Right.
So having that is great, but also, like I said, there's gonna be times where it's like, all right, let's not take that card now. So getting to stall out earlier in the matchup, with those, and then later on when you're just hard dropping the Whitebeards, it's like,
and it's an interesting dynamic too, because like you read the effect and you're like, oh, this seems bad against aggro decks, and it does, but him being at 6 is like all the difference. All of a sudden, those like cards like Sunny now need like 2 Don to start to get active. It gets a little worse.
The 6 is silly. Listen,
you sound opinionated.
Silly. I played it against it today in the sealed format, pre-release. So it wasn't even at full capacity. Like I won that game, because he kept taking his life.
Right.
In constructed where there's cards that's preventing you from taking your life, and you have a leader who's 6K, I have to swing 6K at least
Just to count
every single time. It's just wow.
And then 8K at the end of the game when
No, that's what I was just going to bring up. Have you had to deal with that yet?
With the Moby?
With the character,
yeah.
And then it buffing the leader to
Oh no, the character
Whitebeard does?
until the end of until the start of your next turn, it gets +2. So Whitebeard with Whitebeard in play is 8K until it comes back to you.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. Those are the words.
It's tough. It's going to be interesting. Again, I don't think it's the optimal red strategy, but I think it's a red strategy that can be explored.
It is a good red strategy.
I think it's definitely viable.
I think One Piece is really leaning towards like red and green. Like
actually
being those top colors at the moment, at least. I mean, it's a new introduction of black, so we'll see how black goes. But definitely last format, red and green was really taking over. And then so like thinking about cards and leaders like Whitebeard,
right,
being red, like red was already like annoying to play against.
I actually got myself mad while we were just talking about it because I was like, wait, why do they have that much design space? They get to play super low cost aggro with Zoro. They get to play this neat mid range with Luffy, and now they get to play whatever the hell Whitebeard's doing.
Yeah,
you know, like it's almost like aggro, but it's not. It's like it's pretty interesting. They have a lot of design space that some of the other colors I don't think got yet, but I think they'll get there eventually for sure.
On top of the fact that we technically already had Shanks, like not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Whitebeard.
I think Magellan is in a really weird and cool space for like a controlling purple deck. If you don't know what he does, or not the leader, but the character. That archetype is kind of about minusing Dawn yourself to then minus your opponent.
Right.
So it's kind of controlling their Dawn. If you're able to do that early game against something like Whitebeard, they're never going to see Whitebeard because they can't get to 9 Dawn.
True.
Even if they have it in hand.
And interestingly enough, you don't get the best Dawn recovery in Onigashima, but you do still get to play cards like Manchu or Brachio Bomber or what do you call it? Ulti
Mortar.
Yeah, exactly. So pretty interesting.
Yeah, should be cool.
Okay.
Actually, I have a question for all of you.
Whoa.
Just kind of a future prediction, kind of a Hail Mary. What do you think is going to be the unexpected like leader to do stuff? Yeah,
sleep on Sanji if you want to, boy.
The green blue Sanji.
The green blue Sanji. Play a vanilla and activate 2 Dawn.
Yep.
That's me playing a 4-drop, getting 2 back, so I just played it for 2.
Just once per turn, I imagine.
And it's a 6K body.
Man, you
It's
really
once
do
per
like
turn,
you're a big fan of vanillas and big fan of 4 Life.
I'm a big fan.
Bro, the apple
Maybe I'm
crisps
playing
with the
Sanji
vanilla. That's a really good pick.
I got some ideas for Sanji, but I'm gonna keep that to myself.
Yeah, they don't need to know that.
I can't wait to see whatever you got cooking over there. That's gonna be interesting.
What is he cooking, bro? I love that they use the art, by the way, from the cookbook for the Altar Sanji.
So
I think that's sick. That's tough. If y'all have an answer, jump ahead. I guess Lex is the only Lex or Keith. Do you have a pick?
I don't really have a pick.
Right.
I do hope to see Magellan do well, but I don't think he's gonna.
That's
be
fair.
Crazy.
That's fair. I think my pick is Garp.
Oh,
I think there's some room there. I don't know if it's kind of tough because like the red removal doesn't synergize with Garp, but I think there's something there. I'll have to think about it more, and I don't think my answer is the best, but I think.
So I had something cooking up a while ago for Garp, and it was a lot of the like the Dawn and all that, like very low to the ground red stuff. Where it's the huge thing was Nami. Started like Nami, and like being able to put rested Dawn onto Garp because Garp is when you attach a Dawn to him, you -1 something there. So there's something there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It could be built upon, but I don't know how much it can be built upon in OPO2.
I haven't inspected it too much because I definitely want to try to like dig a little bit deeper into that. There's kind of things or packages like maybe potentially what you do is you sneak in stuff like the jet pistols, obviously,
right,
the blockers, maybe like the 2Ks and like the Nami package. So and maybe like the rushers from like the red package.
Yeah.
So like that's gonna be like your offense, and maybe you just strictly try to focus the black side to just be defensive, straight up removal.
That's the thing is I feel like there's a way to kind of put some aggro effort in with the Garp leader, and then incidentally reduce the cost and maybe pick up some black removal.
No, that's exactly. Just ignore the red removal side of
yeah,
things.
Yeah, because that's all. I mean, you probably still play jet pistol.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But like, excuse me. There's still turns where you're like, maybe you want to attach 5 Don to Garp, and then all of a sudden, like, maybe that removal kills anything you need it to. All of a sudden that Luffy costs 0. You can play that Borsellino removal I can't think of.
Yep.
It's like that 1 cost.
1 cost.
There's some removal that kills something that costs 1 or less or 0 or less.
Okay.
But
I'm not thinking of.
You know what? I'm gonna put it right. Yeah. But the point is, there's sometimes where it's just like, oh, this effect actually works, and I'm already gonna attach this Don to Garp anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It could be good. So we'll see. We'll see.
Definitely could be cool.
Good question.
Thank you. I will say also, I as a big Odin fan, I think Odin will be kind of a sleeper hit. I think built right and competitive.
I think Odin can.
It
might not even be a secret.
I don't think Odin's a sleeper.
I think he gets overshadowed a lot by Kid.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
I think it's gonna be between Odin and Kinemon, but either way, I think Wano is not a sleeper. I think Wano in general is going to be top in tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
I think Kinemon specifically, being able to turn 1 Okiku, right? Like if you're going second
on the draw,
insane.
Obviously you have the board control by a mile, but it's like definitely interesting. But I think it's also interesting that Green has like 4 good leaders at least.
I think they, in terms of leaders, are by far the best right now.
Talk about Green.
Yeah.
Kid, first of all, what justifies? So you get a lot of these leaders.
Yeah.
A lot of these leaders kind of their effects are kind of based off what they do.
Right. In the show or in the source material. Yeah.
Source material.
Yeah.
What justifies Kid swinging twice?
Metal.
Yeah, sure. It's like because there's 2 poles in magnets, north and south pole. North pole and the south pole.
That's quite the stretch, but
right. Yeah, like some of them are so good in terms of design, and we could talk about that for ages. The law leader, the red green law, best design leader.
Every single law actually rooms.
Yeah. But I think that leader's probably the best design. The other ones you could probably argue. I think Kaido's another good one.
In terms of flavor, I think Luffy is also a good one. The starter deck Luffy.
Yeah.
Just being able to be resilient and keep doing stuff.
And then also Kid is there. I don't get it, but it is a really good effect, so I can't get too mad.
It's a very good effect.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because you know what I mean, like his metal constructs can like be rebuilt, like like even when they get broken down.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? He can just remagnetize them and build it
back up. That's crazy how big of a stretch that is for not something.
Hey,
So I'm saying I could understand if it was Luffy, but stretching that long for something, I don't know. Man. I don't know about that. It's pretty cool though. I like it. I think Whitebeard's another cool effect too.
Oh yeah, Whitebeard's very good.
But just maybe because he's so different, I like it. But
it's very unique.
Nami too. It's a good.
Oh, Nami, yeah. Nami's sweet. I'm very much looking forward to
I hope
OP3.
she gets like viability.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to say that like they need to keep on coming out with leaders that like I don't want to say like break the game or make you like, not play the game how it's intended, quote unquote. Like it needs to happen all the time, but it's cool or interesting to see that they're at least dabbling with those ideas.
I think Nami's fine, and then just kind of give it a couple more sets to do something crazy, because that was my problem with Digimon, where they just started piling on new thing, and it's like it gets too much too fast.
Yeah, and my problem with that with Digimon 2, not to turn this into like the Digimon haters podcast, but they were all like parasitic too, so it's like my deck, like I couldn't like add new cards to it. I had to make the new deck, like there were these mechanics that all worked with themselves and not with others, which was a worry I had at first going into One Piece, because like so purple's not Beast Pirates, now it's Galley Law, now it's like Impel Down, etc. I was like a little worried, but they do still kind of keep the same mechanics and work together, so I'm not that worried about it quite yet.
I think because like Galley Law specifically, I don't know exactly what the different members do, but like you play them with Iceberg, you get that value of Galley Law, but I'm sure those cards can also slot into other decks as just generic value engines.
Right.
It's not too bad. I don't know, you guys got a question? You want to talk about a little One Piece?
I think that is a perfect segue into something that's not TCG related.
Hey, all right, perfect. So I have a little something. We'll take a little break for the TCG stuff, and we'll be back with some anime/manga discussion. We're gonna do a little live reaction, but I'm gonna cut it right here. So
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
We'll be back. Oh. Yeah, actually, you know what? Just get spoiled, bro. Catch up. All right, we are live. All right, so to set the scene, we're gonna live react to the trailer for the last volume, but I actually already saw it. I spoiled myself before I was fully content brain. So it is new content for the three of them. I'm here for the ride. Take it away, Keith.
Hi. Collect on the right hand side.
This is not at all what I expect. This is
so
cool.
It's so very different, right?
This is incredible.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
I wish this was actual like game.
Right?
Like, I'm ready to play this game.
It took Usopp off for Water 7.
And in Ennie's lobby, it took Robin off as well.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then that's the time skip. Back at it.
9. Wait, what's that last spot? Anji's back.
Yup. Yeah, there's Jinbei.
My man.
Delete.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. The 3 billion berries. Egghead Island. And the
newest location.
The first look at the colorization of Egghead Island.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. What a cover, too.
That's so
That's
sick.
A fire cover, too.
That you saw the callback.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't need to watch. We don't need to watch this.
OG.
Yeah, exactly. So they replaced the goat with Carrix this year, the rabbit, and then it's the 4 emperors back at it again.
That's
but
so
now
cool.
Actually emperors. So there you go.
I
hope y'all liked it.
Loved that.
Definitely, when y'all got time, go back and watch a lot of the little Easter eggs and all the text and whatnot. Probably can't catch it all in one take.
When I noticed the Usopp get take away,
yeah,
that was so cool.
Yo,
did they put Soga King in?
No, it's just no one's there. Yeah,
that actually would have been awesome.
Yeah,
that was very sweet. Though.
Next time, One Piece. Next time.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you for that. Little commercial break. We'll be back with some other talk in a second.
You know what I hated about the raid?
Talk to him.
What's his name? Paint Man, the trader.
Oh yeah.
The hell's his name? When he dies and they got the big spirit, the big fire spirit. I hated all that. I thought that was unnecessary.
I don't
personally.
Know, yeah.
Just like I felt like a lot of the as much as I love Kinemon and all, it was just played out too much, and it was a lot of oh, they got defeated, oh, but they're back, and then they got defeated, oh, but they're back, oh, they got defeated. It's just very drawn out. Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah.
They had I will say they definitely had 4 or 5 death flags.
Oh yeah, dude, Kinemon died 4 times.
Right. In a show or in a series that already has that problem, turned it up to 11. Dude.
So I was thinking about this whole situation. So how did Kinemon survive when he getting stabbed by Kaido?
I don't know. Do you know?
I do.
Okay, how do you
They
know?
explained it.
Oh, I didn't.
It's because Law didn't fully put him back together. from back in Punk Hazard, because that's Usopp and Nami find his legs running across the battlefield. But earlier on the roof, Law had to room him down. Wouldn't he have to consciously grab both parts of his body to move them down? You know what I'm saying?
I guess, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
I don't know. I just it's hard to believe that Kinemon has been 2 halves this whole time.
You know why Kinemon survived the being stabbed by Kaido? The real reason, plot armor.
Oh yeah,
100%.
For sure. Yeah.
That boy should have been dead
a couple of times,
10 times over. I love Kinemon though. Kinemon is honestly probably my favorite character. He's up there, top 3.
Actually, here's a question. Actually, who's the most high profile character that could have died during the Wano arc and gotten away with it? That Like, you know what I mean? You can't kill like the straw. I mean, maybe you can kill maybe one of the straws, but I feel like that's something you save for the final arc.
Okay, so
you're
saying,
you know what I mean?
You're
Like,
saying who is the highest?
Marco.
like touchable person. Like there's
Marco.
untouchable people.
I think Marco should have died.
Yeah, I think
that would have hit.
I don't know if he should have died, but I definitely think he's the one that got away.
He could have though.
He
The Whitebeard pirates have been through enough, bro.
They have
Well,
been through enough.
Iso's doing.
I was gonna say they already
But
got
that would have
it, yeah.
that would have
Ace
kept
died for
pulling
their
at the
sins, man.
strings, like
Yeah.
That'd have just been like what?
It also fits into the overarching narrative because he's like an old guy, you know.
Yeah,
and this
he's passing the torch.
specifically
onto the next
did
generation.
in a couple of scenes.
Oh, yeah.
So I could see how that would fit into the whole, archetype.
But I guess he did need to be around to go see Miss Buckingham.
Exactly,
and
right,
Push
right.
the story forward in that way.
Yeah. So I think that's a good call. I think my answer is Killer.
Yeah.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not the same no more, so
I think that you could argue that he kind of fit his narrative arc. And,
Oh, for sure.
If it stopped right there, still especially I feel like he as a character, he doesn't have a lot of characterization, but I still feel like he puts all of his effort into Kid's ambition. So if he died during that raid, it would have been fitting end. I don't know. I'm still excited that he didn't die, but I think that's a good answer.
for
sure.
I think it would have been a fitting end.
Yeah, second or what do you call it, co-captain, vice captain.
Yeah, I do like Killer quite a bit. Just
I do, though.
because of Wano.
Actually, yeah.
Flesh it
high
up.
profile because he's also a supernova alongside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The only two who aren't captains.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a shame though, in a sense, like when the Heart Pirates go, I guess spoiler alert, they go to fight the Blackbeard Pirates. Like, you know,
Right.
he's up until that point we didn't know anything about like the Heart Pirates. We're like, okay, so there's Law, and then there's Killer,
Yeah.
and then there's Beppo. But just sarcastically speaking, there's what I mean. No one else has really stepped up to the plate that
True.
we know can like.
Actually, to speak on that, I love how much characterization they fit in the Heart Pirates in that fight.
Right.
They got
Yeah.
into a scrap with what I would assume would be a terrifying crew to go up against, and they were like, "No, we know exactly what to do."
Right, we
Yeah.
fight underwater all
yeah,
the time.
yeah, and they're like, "All right, your crew's full of anchors. Good luck, bro."
Right,
I
Dude,
love that about
watching. What is it, Penguin
them.
and
Sachi,
Shiki?
yeah, or
right?
I don't know, Sachi, yeah, it is Sachi, okay.
Yeah, just watching them do their little team up attack. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It was very cool.
Right. You guys are supposed to be weak. Nah, we're just gonna sink your boat.
Yeah.
But
Can't
they're
sink our
not
bro.
supposed to be weak. We never seen them in action.
We never saw them in
It's
action.
not that they were weak.
It's implied,
we
but
just
yeah.
never seen them in action.
You know
It's
what
implied.
I'm really-
But people look at Beppo like, oh, he's so cute, and just assume that all the high pirates are weak. But how do we know they're weak if we never saw them fight?
That's
So
very
of course,
true.
when it finally came out, we saw them fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited to see two things. One, Sulong Beppo is
True.
definitely going to happen.
True.
But two, Jean, what's his name? The guy that they picked
Jean
up at
Bart?
Sabayoti.
Yeah.
He's gonna do some stuff during this fight. I think. I hope. But I think he'll be a fun person to watch. Do stuff.
Sleep on the Heart Pirates if you want to.
Yeah, actually, speaking on Sabaody, I was thinking about it a lot recently because I feel like it's an arc that feels like so long ago.
Yeah. Well, not for me.
Yeah, but it feels super long ago. But it set up all of the characters for the rest of the series, so I'm really interested to see how the rest of them shake out. Because if you look at how it has worked out, all those characters have left the story and then worked their way back in really interesting ways. And like Bonnie, it took a really long time to get any sort of payoff on that character finally coming in.
Yeah.
Paid
And
off
then
big time.
And then the monk still has to come back, or
Rouge.
Rouge, which I'm really obviously there's definitely something to be said about all that lore to be had from the Skypian coming back.
Oh
but,
yeah.
it's pretty interesting, and I love how long ago it was set up. Finally getting some payoff. But
Should be very interesting seeing how they bring back Rouge. I wonder how much of a capacity he'll be. Like, will he be a threat? Will he be part of the team? Like,
right.
that's another interesting thing. Is like, come to think of it, who have they fought against from the supernovas?
Hawkins,
They've all-
Scratchman,
Oh yeah, I guess. But
X Drake.
We saw like
Capone, but
Capone, yeah, Capone's more of an ally, at least
he started
begrudgingly.
off, the enemy.
Hold on.
We got the
We got the
volume behind you.
supernovas. All right. Scratchman, Killer. You could argue, I guess. Hawkins,
but they're
Killer
allies.
Kid, and Law.
At
Yeah.
least in the last arc,
There you go. For
they're
the
definitely. I think they're gonna.
who did Uroge fight or like get into that scuffle with on Sabaody?
I believe it was Kizaru Or no, you mean from the supernovas?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
He was about to fight Killer.
There you go. See?
had it ready.
There we go.
Oh, and then X Drake stepped in, and then we got the creepiest law panel I ever seen. The first one.
Oh,
Jesus
Jesus Christ.
Perched on the box.
Oh, yeah. That's my guy right there.
Yeah.
Dude, there's this picture of Law in his like usual pose.
Yeah.
And it's just a picture of like a shrimp, just like a raw shrimp sitting the same way.
In that like the classic like why is my posture so bad? And it's just like shrimp. I love that. But I'm excited, man. This last chapter to talk about that specifically. We are on break week right now. By the time this goes out, we'll be at the next chapter, I think. And it's pretty good.
Yeah, what was it, 1075, 76? Something like that?
Something like that. But it is, it's setting up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which, dude, it hurts so much as being a weekly reader. Because, like, there are random plot points that have just been dropped and I haven't heard about for months. We were just talking about the Heart Pirates fight.
Right.
We got 2 issues of that, and it's been 2 months, 3 months, it feels like, before there's any... And they just went off and did something else. Dude, Garp is off somewhere doing something.
It's been awful going from binge watching the entire series over the course of a year and now being caught up, and it's just... I'm weekly now.
Yeah, what a roller coaster to be like, yeah, I did it. And then it's like... What do you mean I gotta wait a week or
I'm
two?
Just being drip fed.
Yeah.
My biggest takeaway personally, I don't care about Shanks at all.
Oh,
or the Red Hair Pirates. I'm a huge Dorian Broggy fan.
All right.
Can't wait to see more of them personally.
You know what was really crazy or interesting that I recently read? Like it's been out for forever apparently. Last week's chapter. There was a fan translation like difference between like the fan translation and like the actual English,
like the
official
Viz print.
Yeah. And there was this funny wording that was changed of Shanks commenting about his old friends.
And, I saw that.
So basically it changed the wording. The fan translation translated it as something along the lines of, I can't wait to meet up with my old friends. I thought they were dead. It was like something along those lines.
Yeah.
Versus the actual translation is both parties thought that they were dead. Now, mind you, Dory and Broggy have been gone for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Or fighting for at least 100 years. What if, here's a crazy theory, first one of the podcast.
Oh, there'll be many more, though.
Yep. What if Shanks is like the 6th Gorosei?
Interesting.
Ooh.
So he's been alive for a lot of years.
A lot of years.
Okay.
So he was hanging out with Dory and Broggy like back then.
Boys.
So they were hanging out, and then something happened to Shanks. Again, we don't know how the Gorosei like are immortal.
Did they turn him into a kid?
Next thing you know, he pops back up in a treasure chest.
It's not impossible. If Momonosuke can turn into a grown ass man.
That's true.
Yeah, the unfortunate part about introducing that is like we talked about it before off the pod, but like you put one sort of like mechanism in the universe, and all of a sudden it opens too many doors.
Yeah,
right.
Time travel
any kind
exists.
Of reset button, right?
Unfortunately, clones exist. Unfortunately,
Like,
so now
my
every
God.
theory all of a sudden it has a little bit of too much validity to it because it's like, oh, I mean, like they time travel before. Why can't they time travel again?
Yeah, Bonnie's fruit is so confusing to me.
Also true. Yeah.
Because from what I understand, it's alternate realities of that character,
right.
where it's like when Luffy became an old man from her devil fruit, it's because it was the bad ending where he just becomes an old man and gives up on his dreams, and not like actually aging him at all.
Interesting.
Because like with Momonosuke, that was what's her name? Shinobu's fruit, the ripe fruit, making him older. So like aging him a little bit. It can't work in the reverse. It can't.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. With Bonnie is very confusing.
Yeah.
Especially when she started knocking the coins out of
Oh,
Vegapunk. It's like, what? Okay.
But to speak on the translation thing too, I think another interesting point is a lot of really like specific wording that the people use when talking to or about Shanks. I don't know if y'all are into it, but there's like a lot of like Yakuza terms.
Oh, really?
That people use when talking about Shanks or to Shanks.
That's interesting.
Something like, and you see it in other things too, right? Like, Sentomaru talks to Vegapunk in the same way, and calls him like uncle.
Yep.
Things like that.
Kizaru.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
right.
Italian.
So that's like another. I mean, it's not the same dynamic, but Sentomaru uses also like Yakuza terms. And so there's something to be said about the Red Hair Pirates, because the people do like them, but the way they refer to them is like different than
like a term of endearment.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's definitely a lot that's going to be kind of fleshed out in that regard.
That's interesting.
But maybe it's like a, possibly, I wouldn't say like a bad side, but like a seedy side, if you will. Like maybe Shanks isn't just a super nice guy. He's a pirate after all. We know he's robbed people,
Right.
That's canon. So it's interesting.
I'm very interested to see who's a part of his fleet and if it's anyone
That's a
that
good
we know
point,
of.
yeah,
Because up to this point, correct me if I'm wrong, we had no idea that they had a fleet.
Right, yeah.
was
I thought it was just a bunch of guys being dudes out there on the sea,
I'm saying.
Lucky Root always with a hunk of meat,
Oh,
That
is still one of the hardest panels or scenes ever.
Yeah.
Him just with the meat and
Just smoking a guy.
like,
Which is
so good.
Also crazy because like that you were like, whoa, this is gonna be a crazy manga. It wasn't.
No.
Actually, that was like that guy died and then no one did for like 1,000 issues, but it was still pretty sick. And actually, hold on, I'm getting too into it now because I also like another thing from that chapter was like the implication that Kid lost his arm fighting the Red Hair Pirates, but didn't even make it to Shanks last time, which I think is so tough. Like Ben Beckman shot it off or something.
Dude, and that honestly feels a lot more brutal than
Yes.
like
Well, that's what I love. I mean, shout out to Oda, right? I mean, we all love his writing in the sense of since day one, we saw like the duality of the Red Hair Pirates, right? Like we see them as good people because we're in the eyes of Luffy and you know what I mean, / the main character, and they're friends. And we all see how Shanks treats his friends and family, right? But on the same flip side of that coin, we saw, like I said, it's nothing for him to shoot people. It's there, kill people. It's funny. Again, we all think, like almost like when you find out that Shanks, or we thought Shanks was the person that cut, Kid's arm off. You're like, damn, Shanks could do that,
right?
Like again, like. We see him in the light or the image that Luffy sees him in. So you like, oh no, Shanks is a great guy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like what, like you're saying, right? What leads us to actually believe that? Besides, if you take Luffy's word for it, you know, when we actually saw Shanks when Ace went to go meet him for the first time. You know what I mean? Like you got that vibe of, hey, no, this is serious business. Like I heard that you're out here trying to come out for the Yonkos, like.
And like the way that a lot of people interact with him actually is pretty interesting, right? Like, because when he went to go see Whitebeard, they weren't like, "Oh, let's go, Shanks is here." They're like, "Hey, like,
ready to pop off."
Yeah. And like he still made everyone pass out too. Like it was still like a serious, situation.
Right. He was flexing. You know what I mean? Exactly. Without being too disrespectful.
Yeah, actually, real quick, going back to that whole meeting between Whitebeard and Shanks, another interesting character that they brought back that I did not expect to see again is Rockstar. Rockstar.
Yeah.
But he's the one that goes and informs Shanks and all them about Kid.
Yeah, I thought that character was made up. Yeah, I thought he was not gonna make it, but they're like, hey, Rockstar, the only other named pirate.
I'm very interested to see because like at that point in time 2 years ago, he was just like a no-name guy. I want to know if they built on him at all. If he's some sort of threat from the Red Hair Pirates, or if he's just a guy,
just like one of the the fifth pirate they named. We just bring Rockstar back. He's one of the 10 Red Hair Pirates we got.
His name is Rockstar.
I'm saying he looks like it too.
You can't make him a lame,
right? I mean, if Lucky Roo was cool, Rockstar's got to be cool,
right?
But I'm excited to see how that plays out. I know we won't see it play out. We'll probably get off screen, but there's a lot of good stuff too. It's so fantastic and frustrating at the same time the way the narrative plots and threads go, because I want to see what's happening on Egghead, but I also want to see what's happening on Elbaf. I have no idea what's happening in what is it, Winter Island or whatever, where Law and Blackbeard are fighting. But I don't know where next week is going to take us. I'm excited. Oh, and not even Egghead. There's 2 different threads on Egghead too.
Oh yeah,
right. Because I want to see what's going on with the escape plan, and then this Among Us session they got going.
Right.
But then also Kizaru's on the way with who knows how many ships. I want to see that happen.
And what is it? Jay Saint Germain?
Oh, Jay Garcia.
Jay Garcia.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I remember it's the ice cream.
Goodness.
Yeah. Jay Garcia. Jay for Jerry. Jay Garcia Saturn is the name. Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn. Ooh.
But I'm also interested. Yeah, that's a lot of lore. Do they fight at all? Are they just powerful? Or is he coming just to instruct the Seraphim, or is he gonna
well, that's the thing too, is they don't really know. I mean, they know now that Luffy and them are on the island, but they were heading there before Luffy and them even got there.
Because of the government agents that were missing?
Yes, yeah, but they had already sent CP0 there. Yeah, so like, what was the play? Like, what is going on? Should be very interesting to see how Egghead plays out.
The team up. I forgot about the team up too.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What a crazy team up. And I love the pairs they picked for it too. It was so sick.
Yep.
I'm excited to see that unfold. And a pretty interesting thing, I feel like sometimes Luffy doesn't get good characterization as time goes on. So finally Luffy to be like, listen, like, I'm gonna let you go. You're not gonna beat me. Don't get mad about it.
Right.
But like, let's work together and fight. And I was like,
craziest, like, because he's like, when you realize that you can't win,
that's what
you're not gonna do anything.
It's rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season.
He said no.
Duck season.
So it was really cool. Some new characterization and some pretty fun team ups. And it was so funny too, because I was like, oh man, I wonder what the dynamic's gonna be. Bringing back the CP9, you know, and then they just immediately got beat up, and then
which was great.
Yeah,
I love that it went out, even like with their awakened powers. They should not have been a fight, and they weren't really. Yeah. So that's great.
Well, that's what's actually interesting about that little quick scene right there, because we still kind of have this debate if awakened powers are, you know, basically like they have no, you know, con to them, but you kind of have to actually assume that they do, because they didn't go into their awakened form. Luffy and Rob.
Right.
They stopped at Gear 4 and like his hybrid form.
He did hybrid, 6 King gun, and then King was it King Kong gun or what?
So you know, if there was like no drawback, you would assume that they would have just, you know,
you're right,
Gear 5 awakened form, then just pack them out. But,
well, I know that at some point it was mentioned that Gear 5 takes a lot out of Luffy.
Yeah.
But I guess they never really confirmed whether the awakened Zoans otherwise have a problem with that. Like, if it does take a lot out of them, but that is a good point. That Lucci was like, no, sure, we're, you know, in dire straits right now, but I'm just gonna give him a hybrid form, just give him a good old fashioned, you know, one of those. So pretty interesting, but that is a good point.
I actually had a question going back all the way from the Sabayoti thing that like brought it up. I don't know, what character has your favorite fighting style in One Piece?
That's a really good answer. Or well, I don't have a good. That's a good question. We're gonna have good answers, but damn,
it's a tough one. The reason why I thought of it was because I love how they introduce Capone. The show where he's like surrounded and like the drawbridge comes from the chest and all the guys are like swarming out. Oh, dude, it's so cool. I think that is my top answer is Capone being a big castle with a bunch of mobsters in them. Right. Oh, insane.
Damn, I have to think about it. I do want to say though, I knew that the show would be crazy pretty early on. Like once Zoro put a sword in his mouth early on, I was like, what's going on? And like, oh, we forgot to do like traditional introductions, but I was gonna say I've been reading One Piece. I like to say on and off since it started, because I started like very early on and then gave up for like 18 years and then actually only caught up in the last couple of years. But I definitely remember as a young kid with my little Shonen Jump weekly reading One Piece, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Do you remember when you became a weekly reader? Like what arc?
In Wano.
Oh, no kidding.
Really? Yeah. Because Wano's been going on for like who knows how many years. I caught up during quarantine, so it was like 2020.
Gotcha.
So yeah, still Wano. You and I caught up in the same arc, several years apart.
What about you guys? When did you become weeklies?
Bro, I've been at it for a while. I'm trying to think of when I actually like started. It's got to be like around or near like Marineford.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
and was it an anime thing or did you read?
So no, I read. So what started off, if you want to know like my whole like anime history in a way, is it started off with Naruto. Naruto went into finished like with like the dub. Then I learned about subtitles. Being chapters ahead. Then I went from subtitles to like, wait a minute, there's manga. Like that's even more ahead. Like what? So yeah, once I got into Naruto, then it's like, and then I'm reading manga, and then you finish that. It's like, hey, let me check out like some of these other like mangas that are great. And obviously One Piece was one of them. So
very nice.
Yeah, One Piece is the shit.
Are you coming with some solid insight?
I mean, I started One Piece when I was young, so for me it was right from the beginning. I mean, I'm sure the show in Japan was a little bit more ahead than when I started it. But I mean, I was like 10, 11 years old.
Oh wow.
So I just started I started episode 1 and just followed through. And then when the anime, kind of like said, when the dub was over, but I mean, I switched from the dub to sub pretty early on.
Mm-hmm.
Just when I knew that there was a sub version and the dub was like, I didn't even want to get stopped. So I just jumped to the sub.
Yeah.
And when the sub finally ran out, I started reading. And then as I got older, I was just like, kind of became less of a fan of having to look for stuff.
Yeah.
So I just kind of just focused on the anime. But now I'm currently reading again, just because
Same
like
trap.
One Piece has this amazing ability to stretch these episodes. So it's just like I got to a point where I was like, I just gotta read.
Yeah, so, I'm interested, since you said that you have been watching for that long, since you're that young. Did you start with 4Kids, or did you have did you ever have experience with 4Kids? Any of you?
I did, yeah. That was like one of my first interactions with it. Which is crazy. I think I read it beforehand, but I was still excited because like, oh, this is like the anime but accessible, because like I wasn't buying it on like VHS or anything or importing it, and then I did not like it at all. The theme song goes crazy.
Oh, it's
for the
insane.
record, best theme song I ever heard. What a crazy rap! I want that guy to come back and do a rap with all of the 10 straw hats.
Could you imagine like a pokey rap style listing of all the One Piece characters?
That'd be nuts.
They would need multiple rappers. The first one easily would not make it through.
So for everybody watching that doesn't know what 4Kids is, you want to elaborate?
Oh, yeah, so 4Kids was it a Fox?
It was Fox.
So it was a old television block where they would dub over anime and other cartoons, usually anime, for like the first time that they would be in the West. So they had the Pokemon one, they had One Piece, they had a whole bunch, and they would censor it quite hard in both dialogue and animation.
I mean, because it was like a Saturday morning block, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
it was definitely aimed for children.
Yep. So it was basically like you had Toonami for the teenagers and you had 4Kids for the kids. Wow.
Right.
And Toonami was Cartoon Network. At nighttime.
At night.
And
past like
4Kids was
Fox for the Saturday morning.
It was like channel 8 or 11 or one of those channels.
Yep.
That's definitely where anime started for me.
Oh, for sure.
4Kids for sure. 4Kids, just Saturday night, Saturday morning. Anime is definitely where it started for me, and Toonami as well, but. Definitely 4Kids.
Heck yeah.
But I remember a core memory was like we had to go to like my brother's soccer game, and it was like an important game, but it was a Saturday morning, and I knew Pokemon was on, and I knew it was gonna be a crazy episode. So I literally I recorded the block of cartoons, and we came home, and like my brother's all happy he won his game. My parents are cheering him on, and I would just like push him out of the way and made it to the VCR and watched 4Kids.
Watch it. Shout out to Ash, by the way, finally winning.
Oh, heck yeah. That's actually weird segue to Pokemon now. Did you guys see that Ash is done?
Yeah.
Ash
He's
is
not
back
gonna be the main person anymore.
Yeah.
Finally, honestly,
honestly,
finally, it's great. First of all, he's been 12 for 25 years.
Yeah. What do you got, Lex?
Hot take. Fuck Ash.
Okay. All right.
I say that with all due respect. He is the GOAT. But why did you wait for like one more season to do that? You couldn't have taken the dub in X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, dude, that he should have won there.
He should have won.
He was so close. I wasn't even following
water versus fire, and he lost.
Dude,
he does the dumbest type matchups his entire Pokemon career.
I'm saying
the one time he has the correct type matchup, he loses in the final.
Well, to be fair, it was a dragon, so I guess because he's. Charizard X is Fire Dragon, so I guess it would take away the 4 times super effective.
Fair enough. Was he the dragon? I thought he was the red version. Whatever.
No, he's the black.
Yeah, he was a dragon.
Black and blue.
Okay, fair enough. All right, touche.
Yeah,
right. But still, Fire Blast.
Definitely stupid. Very dumb. Very dumb.
But yeah, so that's just my one critique about it. I'm obviously hyped that he won.
I think my critique with Pokemon, and I love Pokemon. Ash has been 12 for 25 years.
Yep.
He traveled the world.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple continents. There's like 8 different regions. You did all of that in 1 year? In 1 year, my guy. You did all of that.
He's just sick. I don't know.
He's just sick with it.
Yeah.
Get on his
Actually,
level, bro.
you know what it is, bro? He probably traveled across the international date line in the Pokemon world, so it actually gave him extra time. Yeah,
Bro hit like 5 different years.
Bro.
Then he went to like whatever the Pokemon, like you know how they have like Korean age where you start at 1. He hit that Pokemon version of that, so he got an extra year there. It all you gotta look it up, dude.
Yeah,
You gotta look it up. Yeah. You gotta look it up. It's all there. The math checks out. But I've been dwelling on your question, Keith, to bring it back.
Yes.
This is where the YouTube chapter at the bottom is going to be like, now to answer Keith's question about weapon fighting, or weapons, not weapons, fighting style, fighting styles. I'm too weapon brained right now because I'm thinking all like 3-sword style got me thinking. That might be the answer.
It is very unique
because it is so unique, but I think I got to give it to one of my least favorite characters.
Really?
Basil Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely horseshit power that they make up new things for every time it's convenient, but all in all, really cool.
It is a very cool, like...
It's also rooted in, like, you know, like a really interesting real life parallel that I like, and I think it's interesting.
Little tarot card reading thing.
Yeah. But I do hate him for the record.
Yeah, very fair.
But it's sick fighting style.
I do think that he is one of the few characters in the show that is, like, evil in a way where like he'll take souls of other people and put them inside him, and like you have to kill them before. There's not much like that in the show. Like there's not a lot of villains besides like Kaido and like the bigger ones. Right.
And even like the Marines are like an institute that is evil, but then like they have like good Marines, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Basil is just a
truly evil man. Yeah.
Basil's tough.
Yeah.
It is a cool, different, interesting power.
Right.
My answer, I would definitely have to go with my boy.
Okay.
Who's that?
My boy, Mr. Room Shambles
himself. True.
You know what I'm saying? That, I mean, personally for me, I'm really into like tattoos and like I really like that aesthetic. So when he first showed him and he was, you know, sitting with the bad posture, but the tattoos looking
like a shrimp,
and he had a sword.
Is looking at.
He had a sword. So for those of you who don't know, I go by Eddie the Samurai.
True. Yeah.
And I just love anything sword related. So of course I loved Zoro. When I first started watching it, Zoro was my guy. That was the samurai of the show. I'm riding.
Then they came out with a cooler guy.
Then they came out with a cooler swordsman.
Zoro
I'm like, bro, Lord, nah, you got it. And then I'm like, okay, cool. He looks cool as shit. I'm already invested. You got me. Then he starts fighting, and it's some Naruto type. He's teleporting, room shambling. He's behind. I'm like, oh nah.
Yeah.
This guy is broken. What's going on? No, you definitely.
I just
quick aside. Yeah.
Room shambling as a verb is so good. I love that.
Quick aside before Lex, or to maybe give Lex more time to think.
Yeah.
I got to tell a story on the pod. It's one of the funniest, funniest things I can remember about One Piece. But we were going to see One Piece Film Red. Keith already knows the story. I don't know. I've told y'all the story, I think, too, before the pod. For those who haven't seen the movie, it's a good time. You know, we were going to see it, and our friend Matt, who's like very barely into One Piece at the time, but he's, you know, excited. He wants to come see it with us. So we're like, you know what? Yeah, come through. He really wanted to enjoy it, so he got, you know, excited for the movie, pre-gamed a little bit, and he shows up to the movie, and you know, he's pumped. But again, he doesn't know that much about it, so.
And also, he loves Law's design.
Yeah, he's
very excited to see Law.
Yeah, so there is that confrontation on stage, if you all have seen the movie, and it looks like it's a real treacherous situation. And then eventually, the good guys get teleported out by Law, who's hiding up in the rafters, and they get replaced with rocks. And as that happens, they disappear, rocks come down, and Matt, absolutely blasted out of his mind, leans over and goes, yo, he can turn them into rocks?
I guess it makes sense, right? You never seen
Yeah. And so he was just like, oh, no, they're fucked. Like, they're rocks now. And then, like,
they're stoned.
Yeah. He had something in common with them. But then 2 seconds later, it cuts to the rafters, and they're up there. He's like, oh, they teleported. And so we had to explain it to him later, like, how it works. But it was so funny. But it is a really cool power, and I like the way.
And there's so much you can do with it.
Cool, and the way they themed it around, or like the way he's kind of themed around it being a doctor,
being a surgeon, like the surgical room.
Exactly,
it's very sweet.
All right, so since you guys gave me extra time, I'm gonna kind of cheat and
Okay.
pick two.
Right.
Get two. First one, fan favorite, Ace.
True.
Being made of fire and being a
Yep.
Logia user in general. I mean, it just feels broken. I mean, right? Most of them kind of are when, unless they're meeting up for his Blackbeard. But just being able to make yourself out of fire, making like these things made of fire, and using them to attack like a fire dragon, awesome, amazing. Just the potential and abilities like his boat that he gets to what I mean.
Dude, that
like,
boat is the coolest thing.
How many
really cool
One
ones.
Piece.
how many
Oh,
other
my
like
Lord.
users are like actually using their ability for like utility like that?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could probably fly too. I mean, we've seen it. I think we've seen Sabo do
Yeah,
it.
Sabo's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
up in the air.
You know what I mean?
at
So
some
like,
point.
there's so many abilities and things that you get to do. Obviously, when you're fire and a Logia user, so that's super clutch. My 1B choice, Loki, maybe sleeper, Sanji.
Sanji's
I was
sweet,
gonna.
man.
I was gonna talk about him.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
for
No,
it.
I was just gonna because I was like, okay, I picked my favorite, but I got more to talk about, and Sanji is definitely one.
Sanji's sweet.
And there's a lot behind it too that I think is really interesting. The nickname, like his role model, the whole using his hands for food specifically is so sick.
Definitely.
And it all like comes out in this awesome, almost like kung fu inspired. Like a lot of the shots that he does are like straight out of action movies.
Yeah.
Like it looks so cool, and definitely was one of my picks. I was like, oh, that's a really good answer, but I had faith that you would also pick it. So
Yeah, I think another cool thing about Sanji's battle style is, and it's almost, I don't want to say like bad writing, because in a sense like when his abilities get revealed, people kind of feel like it came out of nowhere. But like his whole battle style is him limiting himself. He doesn't use his hands.
Yes.
Why? Because he chooses not to. He could easily he could use knives and swords too. Why does he not? Oh, because I'm a chef and we don't use our knives for that. I could easily beat up these women, but I don't, because it's part of my. So
He's always limiting himself.
always
Yeah.
limiting himself.
And people sleep on how strong he is because he's limiting himself. He's not using his hands like he said.
And I think it's very respectable too, as it from a character
one of his
perspective.
one of his few good character traits is like being lawful, like not lawful in regards to the legal system, but lawful into like a code of honor.
His own
Yeah.
code, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. If he feels like it's
I always find it funny too when characters in the show are like, "Oh, Sanji's weak," like Black Maria
gave him
Maria. When he was so weak, he called you to save him, sis.
Yeah.
My good sis.
Not even
He
worried
would
about
have
that.
dragged you through the entire room.
He actually has to go fight someone
If he
way
went
cooler
way
than you.
cooler than you and disrespected him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
ate a whole chop to the head. And
yeah.
said, okay, that was nice. But so yeah, I think that's what makes him pretty cool in my opinion.
Definitely.
I will, going back to that whole scenario, I love that he calls upon Robin, and Robin like finally like being able to do something and knowing that her friends depend on her, and
Right.
I love that whole situation.
I'm gonna go
Perfect,
sick.
perfect.
The devil,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
oh my god,
Yeah,
that was so
that was so
fire.
sick.
Becoming the demon child
That's
for
what
her
my friends
friends.
need,
Right.
maybe. Yeah, that was
So
sick.
so cool.
So sick.
I
Love
do love that whole like that part of the raid too, is like characters being who they need to be for their friends. Like when Sanji's like, is this what you would want for me? And holding like the Germa canister, and like, is this what Luffy wants? Is it the person that he needs?
Exactly.
And he just nope.
All of them, yeah. And then he even was like, "Hey Zoro, if anything goes wrong,
Yep, just kill me.
Zoro says, "You got it. If that's what needs to be done,
Love
bro."
to.
Everyone stepped up. Yeah, everyone stepped up. It was so sick to see, and it was really just good, like coincidental writing. Obviously, it's not coincidental because it's all written, but the way it worked out, like you said, Sanji got to ask Robin for help. Robin gets a lot out of that situation.
Yep.
Sanji gets to go move on and step up and
Yep.
fight Queen.
And that's another case too of Sanji limiting himself. I mean, he does now have crazy superhuman
Yeah,
abilities,
yeah.
but throwing away the raid suit is him just being like, no, this is me. I'm doing this on my own terms.
Right.
I hope Usopp
And-
finds that
Yeah,
raid suit.
yeah.
Oh, dude! Oh my god!
Like,
Could you
it's so
imagine?
sick.
Oh
It is.
my God.
It is a weird device to
Bring
like.
Soga King back, but he's using this.
Yeah.
the raid suit.
It's such a weird device to be like, here it is. I will utilize it. All right, I'm gonna go do even more treacherous things now. I don't
Yep.
need this power up. It's like,
Right.
But you can just think about so many things that Frankie can do with that.
true. Yeah.
Like if he tweaked it for Usopp.
Right.
Oh,
right.
dude, man.
Also, I just because I saw the panel again recently, Sick Zoro arc too, where he was like, like the flashback to Luffy saying like, "Oh, the world's greatest swordsman. That's great. That I'll need that if I'm going to be the king of the pirates." And then Zoro stepping up and be like, "Listen, I got to do what's right for my captain.
Yep.
Let's scrap."
Oh, another thing, Nami.
Yeah,
Denying. I will not say that he won't be Pirate King.
No, he
would like at death's door.
Yep.
So good.
Damn.
That's another one. I love Nami's fighting style.
True.
Nami's fighting style is one of my favorites in the show. After she gets the climb attacked,
Yeah.
insane.
I also want to give it.
now with the Zeus boost.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
The
so
Zeus
cool.
boost. I like that. I also want to give a shout out to like the sharpshooters, seeing Izzo,
Oh, yeah.
and then I hope one day, still fingers crossed, a young 10-year-old John still wishing for Ben Beckman to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Finally,
Dude, the hallway scene animated of like all the samurai going with their swords, killing everybody, and then Izzo's just like bang, bang, bang,
Yeah.
like just shooting people down.
when they do like the coordinated like two sword style, I'm
Yep.
like, oh, and then what's Izzo doing? Just hanging out? The heck?
He just got guns. That's all.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
kind of
sick.
a nice little, and maybe a weirder segue, but how do you guys think Beckman, talking on that subject
Mhm.
of weapons, how do you think Beckman like cut kid's arm?
Oh,
Or do
just
you-
bop, bop,
I
bop,
thought
bop,
he
bop.
literally just blasted it off. You know, like
but like with that clean cut? So, or maybe do you think he like kid needed to cut it off himself? And that's why it's
yeah,
like
maybe
clean?
that's what. Yeah.
Could you imagine if he actually used like the muzzle of the gun? It was
Yeah,
just
I
like,
mean,
bam.
we've seen that before
Well, I
too.
think maybe like Ben Beckman might have like, I don't want to say devil fruit because I feel like none of the red hairs have devil fruit.
Right, right.
But maybe like his bullets were so strong, like
Hmm.
I don't know if it's hockey he's
slice it?
using or whatever.
I'd
special
imagine.
technique that he's using.
Yeah.
That it just cut right through. Like,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he's like a devil fruit user that like his bullets like have poison or something like that? So when you get shot, he got shot and he had
Oh,
to cut his
true.
arm off to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
The possibilities are numerous for
Right,
sure.
right.
And like obviously in Marineford he threatened Kizaru, which means he definitely
Oh, he's got
has
hockey
for bullets,
days.
yeah, for sure.
Dude, hockey bullets.
Hockey
go
bullets,
crazy.
yeah. It's been like, I mean, assumed, I'd imagine, for a long time.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's the thing though, is we've always seen armament hockey going to swords while they're
Yeah,
still
yeah.
in the hand.
right, right.
Can you transfer hockey into something and then shoot it as a projectile and it still retain the hockey? Does it have to be touching you?
No, we've decided. Yeah, I've decided. otherwise,
John
those
said
guns
so.
are useless.
Yeah.
Like everyone who uses, and there's like a couple people use guns too. So, actually, most of the Red Hair pirates. I mean, Lucky Ruin. Yeah,
Yep.
all of them. Yeah, I'm definitely assuming, maybe not Usopp, but Yasop shoots some sort of crazy hockey bullet.
Mhm.
You know.
Dude,
to be fair, like going on that thought process, then like where do you rank Yasop? Like,
Oh man, I can't do that.
I think
like you know what I mean?
Gonna,
Like,
gonna need to see a little bit more.
If he can snipe people with hockey bullets, like forget Borsellino.
Yeah, right.
Dude, getting to this point in the game, Usopp, Yasop, and what was the sniper's name from Blackbeard's crew?
Von Auger.
Yes, Von
Yeah,
Auger.
yeah. Wow, I can't believe I remember
Just
that.
getting to see these high profile snipers. 'Cause besides Usopp, you haven't really gotten to see anyone else. I don't know if you guys saw the filler episode from way back when with what is it, Daddy Father or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish that was a canon character. I love that whole scenario. But like that was the last like real like, oh man, this guy's a sharpshooter and he's crazy. Haven't had that in a while, I feel, besides Usopp. So getting to see that aspect of the crew come in again is going to be interesting.
Hell yeah.
Also, actually, going off of positions in the crew, Eddie, I think you had a neat little idea.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes.
a perfect way to cap off the episode.
Yes. That's so quick draft. We each pick first we start off with our captain.
Okay.
So everybody picks a captain. And then we draft afterwards.
And it's just anybody.
Any character in the verse who you would want to be in your
Okay.
crew.
Okay.
Once they're picked,
No one else can
they're
pick
off the table. It's a
them?
draft.
All right.
Follow-up question: does your captain have to actually be a captain?
No,
No,
anybody.
they don't
can
even
your
have to be a pirate.
captain. Zoro could be your captain.
Yeah. All right.
Wait,
Alright.
can we choose marine characters?
Anybody.
Anybody
Yeah.
on
in
the
the
table.
verse.
Got it. Okay.
All right. All right.
sick.
You want to start it off, Eddie, or?
Let's start this way.
Let's see, I'm like
Who is your captain?
Luffy.
All
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's keep
all
it
right. Easy
easy.
pick. Easy
It's like,
pick.
it's like Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah,
Like-
Of course, I'm going.
Whoa, hold on. We're going this way.
Oh,
going
Wait,
this
yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, so it's looping back to
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
you're right.
I'm
I have
last.
Yeah.
I have a
That-
wacky
that
pick
might give you
here.
some choices,
Wacky
though.
pick. All right. Kobe.
Ooh.
Captain Kobe.
All right, I'm going with the
Wait, isn't he actually like vice captain now?
Vice Admiral.
Vice Admiral.
Yeah.
Of
All right, there we
sword.
go.
All right, I'm a power gamer at heart. Y'all already know, so I'm gonna go with my man Gold D. Roger.
Oh my goodness.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That
that's a
is a
good
good
one.
As I was saying before, Room shambles
true.
himself.
Okay.
So Law's gonna be my captain.
Heck
Law's
yeah.
gonna be your captain.
So
Ooh.
now here's a quick question: are we just filling in crew in general, or are we filling in specific archetypes like cook or navigator?
Let's go vice captain, and then
Okay.
your 3 best.
Vice-
You know what I'm saying?
vice-
Perfect. So vice captain.
Vice
Who's
captain.
your vice captain?
Rayleigh.
Rayleigh.
Oh,
Rayleigh.
Luffy and Rayleigh. That's crazy.
Luffy and Rayleigh.
Rayleigh.
That's a sweet. I like that
Rayleigh.
a lot. Oh man, vice captain. I feel like I gotta go Helmeppo if I'm going Kobe as my captain.
That's fair, that's fair.
In a weird turn of events, I'll go
All
Helmeppo.
right. Well, my vice captain got stolen.
Yep.
I was just gonna remake the Roger
He's gonna
Pirates.
give me the sauce.
Yeah,
He's gonna give me the sauce.
No, we're gonna go with let's see, the vice captain. One of the realest out in terms of vice captains. I'm gonna go with Killer.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with one of the realest out in terms of animes. Period.
Oh, hold on.
And my boy Zoro's gonna be my vice
Oh,
captain.
man. Good answer, good answer, good answer.
Good team up.
That is a great one. That is a great one. All right, let's see. You
Third
know-
arm. This is the Sanji of the crew.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is the left hand.
All right.
We're,
All
we're
right.
gonna we're gonna throw a curveball in here. This one, Nami Swan.
Ooh,
Nami Swan.
all right.
I need me a navigator.
Yeah, true.
That's an interesting pick.
I need me a set of titties. Period.
Yeah.
So maybe my next pick would be
Yeah, all right.
a woman.
I think I gotta go Jinbei.
Okay, the first son of the sea.
First son of the sea.
helmsman of the Straw Hat.
Helmsman of the Helmeppo and
That- yeah.
Kobe Pirates.
Damn. All right. Interesting. That's a tough pick for me. I'm gonna go with. I don't know. I'm feeling the old guard today because for some reason my brain is saying Sengoku.
Oh,
Sengoku.
Sengoku's a
A
great
wise
pick.
person. A
His
wise
team
person.
crazy.
I'm
yeah,
saying, you're-
I'm,
He's just out here to win.
I'm saying.
Dude, you're gonna steamroll all
Yeah,
of
I
us.
mean-
So I'm gonna go with as my left hand, Mihawk.
Hey, that's a good pick. That's a good
Nice.
pick.
Wow, that is crazy. All right, I'm gonna have to go with. Dang, I feel like I had a good one, but
Let's switch it up. Someone who's gonna add value to the team, like as opposed to like a cook or an architect.
Okay.
Something that's like you need this to navigate the seas.
Got you.
You need this member. I mean, you already got Nami, but
Yeah.
hey, you know
need-
what? I got Nami. We're gonna complete the team. We need Nico on the
Oh
team.
my
Oh,
god.
We are
bro.
finding
Sorry,
one
bro.
piece. You guys can fight and do all
Yeah, it
that.
was
We
fucked
are
up.
finding
That's fu-
one piece.
I forgot
Oh,
about it. I
man.
forgot to pick Nico Robin. I'm just picking buff men.
I need a little bit more beef on my team. I gotta beef us up.
True.
Katakuri.
Ooh, okay. That's smart. I have been picking people based on their strengths. So we got to pick the strongest man in the East Blue. Wait, no, the smartest man in the East Blue, Ben Beckman.
Ooh.
There we go.
Very
I
nice.
like
All right.
that.
That was a
I
nice
like
one.
that. If I wanted to switch it up, I think I'm gonna go with. I'm trying to keep a theme here,
Okay.
and this I brought this out there, but I'm throwing myself a curveball now. Shit. But let's go with. You know what? I did say I need a set of titties, so I'm gonna go with. I can't remember her name.
That's so much worse, dude. That's so much worse.
But Zoro needs his Ace Boom Kun.
Oh,
What is her
Tashigi?
name? Tashiki.
Yeah,
Tashigi
Tashigi.
Tashiki. And if you guys didn't know by now, all of my characters have swords, and that's my.
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking of swords, and we're gonna have to go with a nice, clean sweep of Shanks. I think everyone
oh,
got
man.
I think actually I've got
That's
a nice
messed
little
up.
theme going on too of
Yeah.
some kind of relation to red hair.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have a theme going on here. It's just characters I like. Oh man, who's a good way to round out? Is this the last one?
Yeah,
this is
5,
the
yeah.
cornerstone of my crew. I think. Oh, it's so tough. Just because I like him. Capone's coming on the crew. I love Capone.
All right. Good answer. Dang, that's gonna be tough for me. Oh, you know what? I did pick a lot of old guys, maybe a little past their prime, so we're gonna have to bring Jewelry Bonnie on the trip.
Oh,
And now
That's
there's no
nice.
shot I'm losing. There we
shot.
go.
And
yeah.
it took me a while, but I figured out who's my utility character
Okay.
who's gonna help me find the One Piece.
Well, you got
And
a
it's
6th
swords-
character? Hold on.
And it's the
Oh, no.
swordswoman. It's my last pick.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
swordsman.
you're right,
It's a
yeah.
swordsman.
Okay.
Odin.
Dead. He's dead. He's dead.
No,
He's
that's
dead.
fine. That's fine.
No, it's messed up. No, oh wait, I guess you did pick Roger. I
Yeah,
was gonna
yeah.
pick Odin after he picked Robin, and I was like, nah, he's dead. Not realizing
that's still
that's
out.
that's
What the-
completely fine.
Oh man.
Dang.
Solid lineups, honestly, all around.
Yeah.
Solid rhymes. All
Yeah.
right.
I think Kobe's would make a great captain
For
personally.
sure.
Of course,
He'll
for
get
sure.
there.
Yeah.
There
like
was.
Kobe.
I would like to see Kobe like really level up into a
Dude, I would love
Mhm.
to see him step up and do something.
like I would
'cause-
really like Luffy's a Yonko now. Like Kobe's supposed to be following suit, you know.
Yeah.
So it's only right if he like really could boss up
Man,
to like
that's
Admiral.
actually something real quick. Sorry to cut you off, but going back to the whole situation with Blackbeard and law fighting, Garp's on his way, man.
True.
That's
Well, I think the implication is Garp is on the way to
to the island.
Yeah. and they're like at winter. Well, I don't
Oh,
think-
you're right.
You know, so it's interesting. Like, who did Blackbeard leave anybody there? Is Garp just gonna scoop up Kobe? No problem.
Is Kobe even there?
True. Who knows? Because there's also like, is Kuzan and with Pudding at Winter Island, or are they back at?
Oh, that's a good.
And then there's the whole test of loyalty of of Kuzan.
yeah,
and
that I
Garp.
can't wait to see is Kuzan and Garp.
Yeah. And also, what a long payoff that has been.
Yeah,
Where they mentioned
seriously.
Kuzan going to Blackbeard Pirates, and we finally see him like a couple issues ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. But we can sit here and talk about One Piece all day.
No,
Y'all would
seriously.
not watch a 3-hour video, though, so that's going to be it, I think, for today. Fun little catch up on the TCG. A lot to talk about on the manga, and we're going to have even more to talk about when the new issue comes out later in the week.
Can't wait.
So stay tuned, y'all. We
Stay
will see
tuned.
you then. Thank you all for tuning in this
Yes, thank
time.
you very much.
Peace.
One.
Yo.